You have to keep pretending that life makes sense, that there's some point to all this struggling.
It worked. Because the public believed the government had everything under control. That is the business model of this great nation of ours. Every business day when the market bell rings, we con people into believing something. The American dream. Family values. As long as the con works. And people buy, sell, whatever it is we want them to do.
Guys, wait on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luco Blaze on The Metal Experience.
All right, it's another Tuesday night. I am Morgan Danielle with two co-hosts tonight. We have the Chin of Knowledge because he is freshly shaven and there's no hair. And then we have Charlie in the Chuckle Factory with us. So my two co-hosts for tonight.
Yo.
We heard two tracks to open up our show tonight. Not song. Weird, stupid me. It was Devil's Door featuring Eden of Falsifier from Victims, brand new song and YouTube video up now, so be sure to check out the brand new Victims. And the second track that we played was Hidebound by Reaping Asmadia from Minnesota. Their music video also up on YouTube and Facebook now. And Reaping Asmadia is going on tour. It's an East tour with Alter Beast and Infury, and a few dates with Rivers of Nile. And starting off July 14th in Minnesota, their hometown. That's going to be with Rivers of Nile and Alter Beast and Infury. And then they are going to be playing through August 5th with Alter Beast. So be sure to catch them all summer from July through some of August on tour. They are fucking awesome. Tonight, we are welcoming back for just their second time, which is super surprising because it's been since 2012. December 7th of 2012, we had Never We See on for their first time, and now back for their second. So, it's just one gentleman here tonight, and welcome back.
What's going on, guys?
Tim, thank you so much for coming out. We really do appreciate it. And it's
Anytime.
exciting because you brought new music with you and sure a bunch of stories for not being here for 6 years. So
Damn.
let's
Well,
just
7.5, Morgan. 7.5.
let's not make it longer than it has to be. That's what she said. But that was a good O in the audience. I like that. We should just go back and loop that and use that for like a sweeper or something. You should be on a track for a TV show. So let's dig in, Tim. Let's talk about everything you've been up to since you were on last. This new CD came out not too long ago.
Yeah, about February.
February
3rd, to be exact.
That's some
Ooh.
sweet artwork.
So it's called Let It Kill You,
Yeah.
and it's got some pretty amazing artwork to it. It comes with a poster. It comes with a pretty picture of you in it.
That's me.
That's you. So tell us a little bit about Never We See, how you started your project, and anything else you want to tell us to start this off with.
Well, Never We See has always been kind of like my brainchild, something that I've always wanted to hear myself. You know, I see a lot of local bands for years, and I've always looked up to the bigger bands like Slayer and Morbid Angel and Pantera from growing up, and I just wanted to release something heavier and like just to be kind of in that realm, just to something that I created and released for people to really enjoy. So last time I was here, Never We See went off to do. It was Crowbar and Prong at Cobra Lounge. We did that. It was a
that's
sold out
pretty
show. Like it was actually 420 that same year, 2012.
You remember that? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, 420
yeah,
and
that was
all.
so high on my mind.
Yeah.
So we did that. It was one of our first shows. Joel from Baraha, you guys just had Baraha on.
Oh, yeah.
He
Good
was
guys.
the original live bass player. We did that show together. And then, we just kept doing shows. We did stuff with Magatwat, Jungle Rot. We just, trying to get on the best shows we could. And during that time, Unholy Empire was putting on a lot of shows. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
Are they
Empire.
still doing that?
No, that kind of died. Like
Yeah, I haven't seen their name in forever.
Mike Jacobau went off to do Sumerian Records, and Mike Finnegan went and had a kid and got married, which is good for him. Beautiful family, whatever. And but yeah, no, we just the biggest show we did recently was Satyricon and Goat Horror.
I really wanted to
the
go
Forge.
to that one.
It was a good one. They're very professional over there. The production company, or the production group over there.
Yeah, we've heard nothing but good things since they reopened again.
Yeah, they're really good. The downfall is having to leave the venue when you're done playing. They make all the opening bands, like the local bands, leave the venue with their gear and stuff.
What?
Seriously?
Yeah,
Like
it's-
after your set?
After your set, like you lose your backstage access, so you have to like go out the back, load your gear. You can't even park it on the lot. You have to like park it somewhere else, and then
That's bizarre.
and then you have to come through the front. Luckily for me, like I like, gypsied my way into like having us put our stuff in the hallway. So I got in trouble for it later, but
It was worth it.
yeah, I mean, like, when you're playing metal, you have a lot of amps and guitars and drums. I mean, all that stuff. It's very expensive gear, and to leave that in the van or whatever you have is just not worth.
Yeah.
So you hear bands. They get ripped off every week. Touring bands, like people steal their whole van sometimes. So
Yeah.
it's pretty dangerous. So we got to leave the gear inside, and we got to hang out with Goat Horror, and I was drinking with the guitar player and
Sammy?
Ben. Yeah, good guys, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get complimented or anything by Satyricon?
We didn't even meet him. Like it was
Really?
just At that point, it was like no access to the backstage, and then they came on and then disappeared.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a pretty good spot for you to have been playing, at least on that show where you get exposed to a ton of people.
Yeah, it was good. Sold a bunch of merch.
Nice.
I feel like the merch booth is really good. It's good. It's a good place to have where you have something to offer people who've never heard your music. Or if you have a cool shirt or a cool looking CD or a cool poster of something that people can take home with them. Like really, I think that concept is disappearing every year with the internet taking over music and Spotify and everything. That's one of the.
Yeah.
I try to have something like the CD where if you see us once and you buy the record or you buy a shirt, you have a piece of art to take home that kind of like
Oh, of course.
wraps up the sound and feeling of the music itself.
Well, and the artwork is pretty eye-catching too.
Yeah.
So it's if someone walks past and just sees the artwork and be like, "Hey, I want
Yeah.
to pick that up."
Yeah, I haven't seen very many local bands put a poster of their artwork in it.
I mean,
I think that's pretty awesome. That's an old
Yeah.
school move too. A lot
Yeah.
of bands used to do that, and that's not seen too many anymore.
That's right. For me growing up, seeing bands that do that, I kind of got that idea. Like, the album is on the CD, but with the label on it. Like I wanted to have a piece of the art for people to like maybe hang up on the wall, or all the lyrics on the opposite
Right.
side. And
Yeah.
so Tony Cole did the artwork. He's from California.
And how do you know him?
I met him through a friend who's good friends with Gene from Death and Death Clock, and Tony Cole was introduced to me by my friend Paul, and he does artwork for Black Dahlia Murder and Job for Cowboys. So
Nice.
him and I just became buddies, and
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, I want you to do some artwork for me in the future. This is like, 4 or 5 years ago we were talking about this, and I kind of like had the artwork made after the music. I like to write the album and then like kind of how I do it, where I write all the music first, and then write the lyrics to the vibe or theme of the song, and like kind of I like to add all the visuals and reading parts, after the music has been created, to kind of capture the theme and feeling of the song itself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was the concept that you had going when you started writing Let It Kill You?
So the album name "Let It Kill You" is kind of inspired by Charles Bukowski. He's like a poet of some time. He one of his lines that stuck out to me was "Find something you love and let it kill you." And like to me, music and creating music is like a huge process for me since I write all the music and all the instruments on the record. It really is kind of a internally demanding process, like mentally and physically. And
Well, it's very time consuming. I mean, you're doing it all outside of your life, and it's your main focus when you're not doing anything else.
I mean, so everything else is when I'm not doing music it's almost the opposite for me. Like writing an album is very demanding life-wise. So, for about 2 years I didn't really do anything. It was just work, and then I'd go to the studio and like write riffs and kind of come up with concepts and themes for the songs. And so, I mean, music has always been number one. So in that regard, like I've found something that I loved, which is Never We See, and it will inevitably be the death of me,
That's awesome.
So
I really want to play a couple tracks to get us into the new album, so we know what exactly you're talking about. What are the first couple tracks that you would like to play to introduce everybody to Never We See and to Let It Kill You?
The first track I'd like to play is probably the top one. Is the "Betray Your Weakness," kind of themed where it's all in the lyrics, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, here we go. The first track off of Let It Kill You here is "Betray Your Weakness."
fire listening to the Metal Experience.
Hell yeah.
And we are back. I'm Morgan Danielle with the Chin of Knowledge. And
Hello.
Charlie
Bit my finger.
Chuckling. Chuckler, something of another. And we are here with Tim of Never We See. That was the first track off of Let It Kill You, and that was called Betray Your Weakness. What is that track about?
I think the theme is I wrote all the lyrics, so basically the theme of the album is kind of dedicated to my mom in a way. You know, she died in September of 2016, and I kind of watched that happen with my rest of my family. And the whole theme of the album, like lyrically, wraps around that essentially. I think that a lot of it just kind of like the first song revolves around betraying what you're afraid of and betraying, kind of turning your back on fear within yourself, doubt, destroying the adolescent part of your mind, really. Like us as humans develop in the world and we're continue to develop forever. And I think a lot of that is just, kind of embrace progression within your mind, to be a better person, better everything, every better Morgan, a better, Charlie and the Chin of Knowledge, So.
Absolutely. Now, the album, you said 2 years you started recording this? It took you that long?
A lot of it I did piece by piece.
Okay.
I did the drums in 2015. And then
Wow.
a lot of it, recording an album is pretty expensive. So all the hours and the, just writing the different tracks, I always start with the drums. And then I record all the guitars, like all the rhythm guitars. And then I write bass after that. And then I go back and like a lot of it was like, piece by piece. Realistically, like I could have done it all in a weekend, but it was just a matter of like funding and, taking the time to write. I didn't want to rush anything, like a lot of artists rush. I don't want to do that. I want to write it piece by piece when I feel comfortable. And, I wrote the lyrics probably the quickest in all the record, like 2 months I wrote everything.
Wow. So where did you record? Like, where were you able to go to over this period of time that you were able to get everything out when you needed?
I did the drums with Chris DeJeric up in Bell City, where Jungle Rot does their stuff, and Lumber's Doom. So it took like 15 hours just to record the drums, like 2 days. And then the rest I did with Mike Walsh. He's the guitar player in Never We See, actually. He's been doing albums for years, a lot of local bands. And he has his home studio, and we just set up everything there, and I recorded everything with a famous Cobra and a Diesel VH4, and
Nice.
yeah.
Now, since you said you recorded the drums in like 2015, did you ever worry about like the recordings getting lost at all, or did you have to re-record anything at all?
No, I mean, Chris is really like pro, man. Like he's been doing every band for any band, like for years. He's been recording, and he did the last record. I met him through when I did Nocmistium. I was on their 2014 release, and I met him through that. And I just liked his professionalism. He's very detailed. So yeah, it was just a matter of him sending me he saved everything on a file, and it's pretty good.
So you do everything up until the point that the record's about to be released. And then I know that you did this for your last album. You have people fill in for live shows.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you consider like a permanent member right now of Never We See, or is it just you and you've just hired people when you need to play?
I'd say so. Mike, the guy who recorded it, he'll be in the band for probably ever, depending on the direction of the music. Since the first show, he's been involved. So he actually has some leads on this album. I wrote certain sections for him to like make his own with his own rhythms or his own melodies and leads. So he's definitely more of a. There's a little more of him on this album too. So, but I would say by the third album, so Aletta and Dave from Discarnate are in Never We See now.
Nice.
And my goal is for the third album is to have us collectively write as a full band and not just me writing everything.
So totally different take for you for the next album. That's awesome.
I'm hoping it's the music direction I'm doing is a lot more technical. I'm a huge fan of Necrophagist and Obscura.
Nice.
So I'm not going to say it's going to be in that realm, but it's going to be like my own kind of version of a lot of technical riffs. And Dave is an amazing drummer.
Oh, hell
He's
yeah!
Like one of the best I've ever played with. So I want to be able to be in a room with him, and Aletta's a fantastic bass player, and just write, bring some new riffs to the table and see where we go with it.
Nice. Absolutely. Well, let's play 2 tracks this time. Let's go a little bit deeper into this record. What are the next 2 that you want to play?
I would go with the number 2 and 3. We'll go with Intentions of Revenge and then Bottom Feed.
All right. We'll talk a little bit more when we come back in after hearing these 2 next tracks.
With
This is Jeff. This is Linus. We're in the band Nephilim. And you're listening to the Metal Experience.
All right. We are back once again. I'm Morgan Danielle with the Chin of Knowledge and Chuckling Charlie, who's a charmer. I don't know. Let's go with everything that starts with C's. Sadly, we are, as you've noticed by now, we are without Luco Blaze. He is performing at Livewire Lounge tonight.
We don't need him.
We don't need him. With his band, The Forms They Take, they had the opportunity to open up for the Convalescents as they were in town with Orinaco, and he's playing a show. So he ditched me to...
Fuck you, Luco. We
Thanks.
don't need you.
He's playing a show tonight, so he wishes he could be here. I know that he does. And he'll be back next week for our 300th episode.
What?
We will be
300?
hanging out with Flesh Scorn for their first time. So 300 episodes. That'll be next week.
300.
But we are back.
Damn.
With Never We See. Tim is with us. We've been playing tracks off of the newest album, Let It Kill You. And those were two more amazing tracks, Intentions of Revenge and Bottom Feed. Tell us a little bit. I do too.
I want more.
And we still have plenty more to come. Tell us a little bit about what those tracks were. And Bottom Feed actually got really melodic there.
Little technical
of-
bits.
That one
Yeah.
was actually Cripple Face. That should be number 4 on the album.
It was?
That last one you just played, yeah, it's Cripple Face.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
nice dude.
Well, I played it in the show. I played you Triple Face.
It's good. A lot of the songs kind of differ in genres, maybe kind of like realms. You know, I try to like write every song I write. Try to write a little different than the last. You know, so it doesn't sound the same. I grew up listening to Slayer and like Morbid Angel, and you know those bands are like notorious for, especially Slayer. You know, the Rain and Blood album is like every song rips. You know, and I wanted growing. You know, I wanted to have a little more dynamics in the albums I write, where there's, you know, it breaks into like a jazzy part where it's a 7/8 part, and just I like to have all different types of feels in each riff, you know.
Yeah.
So
What's the hardest instrument for you to record? You play everything. That's
Yeah.
what's even more amazing is that you have that ability to play every instrument. So what do you find the hardest though?
I'd say drums.
Drums?
Yeah, drums are hard because drums are most expensive, really, with sticks and new drum heads and a lot of maintenance keeping up.
Pedals.
Yeah,
Hardware.
all that stuff. It's just there's so much goes into drumming, and since I like to keep the drums a little more natural, a little more organic, so I don't trigger everything. You know, like none of the drums are triggered. It's all recorded with microphones, and you know, a lot of bands do modern ways to trigger everything and have everything be sampled, and that's fine. It sounds great, but I'd say the hardest part of being a musician is the dynamics of a drum. You know, depending on how hard or soft you hit the drum, and you know, I think that's what makes drummers like Denny Carey and you know the dude from Sting. I don't know his name, but I've always loved that drummer. The drummer from Sting is, I'm sorry, the Police. He's a really dynamic drummer. Where it just shows their true talent and how they hit the drums and or how soft they do, you know, how hard they do or do not hit the drum.
Another really good old drummer is from Talking Heads.
Yeah, totally.
Another good drummer.
Yeah.
What got you started into metal music?
I'd say bands like Death and Metallica, stuff like that. I found I didn't really have internet growing up, so my only time to get CDs was at what's that place out Irving Park Road?
Rolling Stone Records?
Rolling Stone. I'd go out there with my cousin and we'd buy albums, and I'd just take a chance on stuff. You know, I'd look at the album cover and be like, "This looks cool," and I'd buy it. You know.
Isn't it crazy how album artwork is just like a book? You never judge a
Totally.
book by its cover, but you totally like
You kinda have to
something has to
sometimes.
stand out on
Yeah.
an album cover for you to get it.
That
Like-
was the first album you purchased.
Shit, man. I think the first album I purchased was at a Target. Yeah. It was the first CD I ever bought. I was really big into tapes though when I was a kid. I had tapes when in my generation, like super big tape guy, and it took me years to switch over to CDs. But the first CD I remember buying was the 3 different songs off "Pretty Hate Machine" by Nine Inch Nails.
Okay.
It was like
Good
it was like
album.
the second remix album he ever did. Yeah, that's my first memory of this little Nine Inch Nails CD. I think it was like Halo 2 or Halo 3. We're going back like 20 some years ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Nice.
It wasn't even metal. It was like industrial. Or
Yeah,
whatever, right?
industrial
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah, I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan.
Oh yeah. Did you end up getting tickets to see them at Aragon?
No, fuck that.
I understand what they're trying to do is like if you want it bad enough you'll go to the city, but it's kind of like what the fuck, man?
The funny thing is they said that eventually it'll be released online.
They better, because I was so crushed when I was like, I can't make it to the city
And they
to buy
announced
tickets.
another show. They
Yeah.
have now 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah,
in Chicago.
but they
that's the
sold out
announcement.
that one at Aragon that everybody lined up for. And I
Yeah.
was pissed. I was
My
like,
friend's girlfriend waited for like 5 hours.
That's
to get
insane.
tickets.
Damn.
I mean, I'm sure they're worth it. I've never seen them live. I've been wanting to.
It's really good. If you can go.
I really want to.
Yeah, they're good. It's a good show live. And a lot of lights, because I mean it's Trent Reznor and a few other dudes, but to make up for the lack of band feel, it's a lot of lights, a lot of smoke, and stuff like that.
It's mainly what industrial music is live.
Oh, right.
Yeah, a lot of lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's about that time, and being that Luco's not here, I asked, obviously, 2 co-hosts to come in and help, things go with the flow. So tonight, Chuckling Charlie and the Chin of Knowledge are combining the segment that they alternate every week, and they are going to do the segment Together as One. So whoever wants to go first, don't fight about it. Oh boy, you're already fighting about it. See?
Charlie, go ahead.
It's a finger match.
Oh,
Just touch each other, make up, and decide who
you
talks.
say make out or what do you say?
I don't want to see. I said make up and
Oh.
decide who
I
talks.
see 2 dudes making out.
No.
I'm good.
That is the metal experience.
So don't rush,
Rush. Good band.
Well, Charlie's got his notes out. Derek, you're still looking for him. So Charlie, take
I
it
got my
away.
note- I got it all set.
I just got a couple newses.
Newses, you say?
Newses.
Spit,
Hey,
spit,
that's what he calls it, Derek.
spit the newses, man. Spit the
You
newses.
talk, you can say things differently. We call Charlie's things newses. See, you're learning about how each other works
Start
every
off,
week.
man.
It's different. Here we go.
Summer Slaughter is July 24th, which is a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. And that's going to be where for Chicago?
It's going to be at
Concord.
is it
Yeah, it's Concord,
Concord.
right? I think it
It's
is Concord. Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And they don't have a rave
Yeah.
show this year.
They what?
They don't have a rave show this year.
What did they do?
They
Rave
don't
show.
have it at the Milwaukee.
Oh wow.
Oh, well, that sucks. Summer
Never,
Slaughter.
never we see played a Summer Slaughter show on the tour. It was called the Tree at the time. Now known as the
in Joliet.
Joliet. Now known as
Was
the
that the
Forge.
one with Arch Enemy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
that
good
is
stuff.
awesome.
Cattle Decapitation, Beyond Creation. There's a lot of cool bands that tour. Anyway, sorry, go on.
I'm dying to see Beyond Creation.
They're so good live.
The band star that I'm playing is Between the Buried and Me, Born of Osiris, Era of Velamaya, and a few other bands.
It's going to be a pretty good lineup.
I'd go see Between the Buried and Me again.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them yet.
they're really good.
Yeah.
I've seen Era twice. I've seen Born of Osiris twice and met them once for a split second. An old friend of mine. That
Those
I
guys
know-
smoke a lot of weed. Those dudes. One of Osiris and
I could see it.
Veil of Maya.
Woo!
They were on that tour, the 2015 one. Everybody's getting high in the back, rolling joints and shit. It's cool.
Living the life.
Not that I do that, of course. I saw it. Just
Born of
saying.
Osiris, their house that they do practice at is actually down the street from Penny Road Pub.
That's
Nice, yeah.
pretty cool.
They almost, but bought Penny Road Pub before they bought this house.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been pretty sweet to own that
Yeah.
property.
And
big
then I
property.
saw Valemaya with the new singer.
Mm.
I saw them
At Warped Tour.
Submarinian 10-year tour
Oh,
before Warped Tour.
yeah.
That was a killer ass show.
I bet.
Yes, it was Valemaya, Arrow, Born of Osiris.
Asking Alexandria?
No.
No, that wasn't that one.
Eh.
It's okay.
And 2 other bands.
It's still pretty cool.
And July 12th at Beat Kitchen, Silent Planet, My Epic,
Beat Kitchen.
Comrades, and Tanzan.
Tanzan!
I know those dudes. We've played with those guys before.
Those are my bros.
And those guys are cool.
They're so much fun.
Doors are at 7 and show is at 7:30.
All right.
17 plus show.
There we go.
And just a little reminder, this Thursday at Bonham Lounge, Commie Christ Wednesday 13, Nightclub, Prison, and Death Valley High.
Ooh.
Doors at 6:30, show at 7.
Not bad.
All right. For those looking to get industrial and to rave in the dark,
I was trying to go see that show.
Take some
but I think I'll be
acid.
going.
go see Combi Christ. That's
Combi
kinda
Christ
cool.
rules. I've seen those guys. At the years ago at the Metro and House of Blues.
Saw him at Allstate with Rammstein.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. They
Oh,
were the
wow,
ones that
really?
opened up for that.
Wow,
yeah.
that's fucking
They
rad.
DJ'd. That was weird. No?
One year it was Comic Christ. The next year it was the DJ.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Combi Christ.
Interesting.
I haven't seen them yet.
They're
It's fun.
live.
It's fun live, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll save your music for a second, Charlie, and then
Yep.
Chin of knowledge.
What about it?
Well, I can't hear you, so you need to talk into the mic and tell me what you got.
What do I got?
I don't know. I can't hear you because
Hey.
you're not telling me what you got.
Hey, you ain't got chin here no more.
He
No, I
doesn't.
don't.
He,
I have not had chin hair in probably about like a year and a half.
damn jobs taking away your
I know,
identities.
They took our jeebs. Okay, so I got July 24th at Reggie's, Havoc and Extinction AD.
Nice.
July 8th,
Where was that at?
Reggie's.
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 So Jungle Rot's supposed to be on the tour too, but since they're playing Wookfest, they're not on the show with Havoc and Extinction AD at Reggie's.
That's interesting. Okay.
Then July 8th, The Faceless at the Forge with Nomadic, Lorna Shore, and Disincarnate. Not the one.
The one with a Y, not an I.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's confusing.
September 5th at the Riviera, Parkway Drive, August Burns Red.
Oh
Devil
my
Wears
God,
Prada.
I need to get tickets like now.
August 16th at Reggie's. The band I'm looking forward to see from Poland, Batushka.
Batushka.
Really good. They're black metal and doom.
Wait, what's the name?
Batushka.
Oh.
It makes me
How do you
think
say
of
it, Morgan?
a
How do you say
grandma.
it?
Batushka.
Batushka, yeah.
But they're like
We're in
black metal,
Chicago.
black metal doom.
It just sounds like a grandma.
Nice.
Meet my Batushka.
But yeah, they're from Poland. It's one of 3 U.S. shows.
All right.
But they're playing with The Chasm and Suffering Hour. So that should be a good show. One that was just announced today, July 14th at the Forge, Ex Mortis, with The Absence, Hatchet, and Macabre.
Those guys live are so fucking cool.
And then August 13th, Cashel Theater in Bloomington, The Acacia Strain, Left Behind, and IM.
Oh my God.
And that's it for tour news.
You got some randoms?
Yeah, so Dimmu Borgir has announced that the new bass player, Victor Brandt, he's played with Entombed AD and Firespawn.
Mm-hmm.
He's joining the ranks of Dimmu.
Sweet.
Nice.
So that's going to be kind of interesting, bringing a death metal player into a black metal band.
Did he record the album with them?
No, he just joined like 2 days ago.
This is like
Oh.
their third bass player, right, in the last 10 years? Fourth?
Fifth. Yeah, because since Dimmu started, they went through 2 bass players before IC Vortex.
Yeah, Vortex was the best. He was
And then
killer.
once Vortex left, Snowy Shaw played bass for him.
Yeah,
And then now Victor's taking over for Snowy.
nice.
And
But can any of them sing like Vortex? I wonder.
I don't think so.
No one can.
I don't think so.
Not even God.
So the original vocalist of Cro-Mags, Harley Flanagan, is suing the band over the
What?
use of the name Cro-Mags.
Oh my God, one of those people.
Because Harley he alleges that he trademarked the name back in 2010,
Here
and
we
also
go.
for merchandise trademarks in 2009
Whatever.
and 2017.
Sounds like something Gene Simmons would do.
Yeah, true.
The word
Simmons sued
kiss.
himself, man.
Yeah.
The word kiss, I'm going to copyright it because we're called Kiss.
Then the former guitarist of Suffocation, Guy Marchas, I think that's how you say his name, but he's selling his first ever custom BC Rich Warlock
Ooh.
in order to help pay for his chemotherapy.
All right, for those
how
that have a
much?
lot of money,
$6,500, but
not bad.
it's
that is not bad.
But it's helping him pay for his chemotherapy
That's
because
rough.
he got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh, poor
Is it
guy.
American-made piece of ranch? Or?
Yeah, I think so.
That's worth it.
And then Charlie was touching on this earlier after he saw my
No.
notes, but
No.
Rings of Saturn guitarist Miles Baker and drummer Aaron Stechnow, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Hey, Aaron from what is it?
I got no clue.
What was the other band that he was in?
I got no clue. But he's announced they've announced their departure from the band due to not getting recognition for songwriting credits.
Wasn't it
Wow.
Infinite Annihilator?
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Because that's their his second or third guitarist that they've been through.
Yeah, and like fourth or fifth drummer.
What band is this?
Rings of Saturn.
Oh.
They're technical deathcore or
I don't listen to them.
Neither do I.
Technical.
I played a show with
something.
those guys. I was in a band called Creature Creator, playing drums, and we did a show at Bottom Brew with them. It was sold out. They have like a huge young kid, like 15, 16-year-olds. I felt really out of place.
Jeez.
I'm like 30 at the time. I was like 32, and all these like children. I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here, man. I sat in the van. I was like, I gotta go. This is too much for me.
I have actually watched a video about the vocalist from Rings of Saturn. He does not get ready for the show. He just jumps on stage and just
Some people have
and
that
d-
talent.
does his thing.
Nice. Interesting.
And then the last bit of news I've got
All right.
is former anal cunt guitar
What?
player.
Who was it? Who was it? I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I couldn't hear you. No, go right ahead. Go ahead.
The former guitar player of Anal Cunts.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Josh Martin.
So for those that wonder why we're laughing, these two older gentlemen came through. We're talking maybe 60s or whatever. Walk
Distinguished.
through, and Tim's trying to push Derek to say anal cunt again because these guys are going to be walking through the back of the bar, and Derek's eyeing them, go, walk faster, and try to say anal cunt again. Don't be ashamed of the cunt.
Yes. The former guitar player of Anal Cunt, Josh Martin, has died after falling off an escalator.
What?
I'm not making this shit up.
I don't want to laugh. It just sounds so
in
weird.
a mall in Providence, Rhode Island. He was only 45 years old.
Oh my god!
How do you fall off an elevator?
They don't know
An
if he was
escalator?
Yeah, an escalator.
Oh,
There's a
escalator.
difference.
I thought I said escalator.
There's a difference in the two.
Was he riding the escalator, like or elevator, or what was going on?
There's reports saying that he was trying to ride the rail.
What?
What?
How old is this guy?
40
43?
45 years old, but
Oh my
last
God.
year he was heckling Gene Simmons at like a convention.
Good man.
Oh
Good
my
man.
god.
Yeah. So they don't suspect foul play. But yeah.
They don't suspect foul play for an anal cunt death.
Jamie
But-
Simmons
Sorry.
pushed him off, man.
These terrible jokes about death, I
Simmons
feel terrible.
materialized like fucking
Oh.
like
Yeah.
Thanos and
Rest
pushed him
in
off.
peace to that-
Josh Martin of Anal Cunts. He's now the second member of Anal Cunts to die.
What?
Yeah, Seth Putnam's dead.
Wow.
Anal Cunt is no more, and I could have seen him in Chicago like
Oh my gosh.
many moons ago. Back when their motto was "Chicago just got gay."
Oh my gosh. Terrible.
when they played Reggie's.
All right, terrible jokes happening now. Let's go to some music that Charlie brought for the night. What is the band that you want to play?
They're an unsigned band from Germany
Ooh.
called Intruden. I think that's how you pronounce it. The song is "The Realm of Black and Perdition."
All right. And there's a music video for this, too, for those that want to check it out. Well, here we go. Inchirdian?
I think so.
Look them up. It's almost like spelling enchilada, but a few more different words in
Enchiridion.
there.
ENCH.
Iridion. Enchiridion. Think of enchiladas. Here we go.
This is Justin.
This is Dustin
Austin's J&D,
of the so-called Saints.
or so-called Sense,
Tell your boys
or Smile Your Boys.
you're listening to the Metal Experience.
Boom.
What's going on? We just heard Enturion with The Realm of Black and Perdition. Hey, after I watched that music video, it's actually in one of the members' bedroom. And I can't believe how good the sound quality was.
It's a very guitar heavy band, or a song at least. Really
Yeah.
cool shredding. You can tell they're both. Or if it's more than one guy, it's like really good player.
It's a vocalist, lead singer.
So that music video, though, that we heard, it was taking place in their bedroom.
Yeah.
What?
But that song was not recorded, like, during that time. They put it behind it. They don't play it live. You know that when they do music videos, they loop it with a recorded track, right?
So the video itself was recorded in the bedroom.
I don't know. It might have been recorded video-wise in the bedroom, but that was didn't sound like a live
It reminded
track.
me of Necrogoblicon. You guys ever hear those guys?
Oh, yeah.
Like just like the feel, kind of
Interesting.
the energy.
Cool. Well, we are back.
We are?
I am Morgan Danielle with
The future.
the Chin of Knowledge, chatting with Chuckles, Charlie, whatever we're calling them nowadays. That's happening. Don't worry, there'll be a sweeper coming next week. I'm working on it.
Are you a red chuckle or a green chuckle?
Ooh.
It's a good.
It's a candy
what
question.
Candy question. Color are you? Taste flavor. Right?
Have you ever had Chuckles?
There's 5 of them. It's like yellow, orange, red, green, and
Purple.
purple. Yeah.
They're like the jelly candies,
It's older.
gumdrops.
20th century candies.
Yeah. You've never had them? That's going to be your homework.
You've
For
never
before
lived.
next time you come on, if you can't find them, tell me, because I know that we sell them at one of my jobs. I'll get you Chuckles, and you need to try them. And I'll take a picture of Charlie
Eating
chuckling
Chuckles,
while
yeah.
eating Chuckles. It'll be
So
great.
the other 2 bands on that Submarinian tour
Mm-hmm.
was After the Burial and Bad Omens.
Oh my God, After the Burial's so good. Bad Omens is okay. I love After the Burial. But we are back. We are here with Tim of Never We See for his second time on our show, and it's been quite a while. So we're catching up, playing some tunes off of the brand new album that was released in February, Let It Kill You, and telling some awesome stories and everything there is about the band. Just to refresh our memory for listeners and for those who have never heard you before, how did you come up with your name of the band for Never We See?
Kind of like the cardinal symbol, the north, south, east, west symbol. It's kind of like a metaphor kind of way where Never We See kind of became like we'll never know where we are until we get there. Essentially, like metaphor for not knowing what the hell is really going on in this world.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I noticed that you did put like the cardinal symbol in the insert of the CD. So when you pop the CD out, you have the skull saying "Never We See" in the north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And of course, it says "Never We See" in its little eyeballs, the hollowness of them. What did you find to be the most challenging song to write on this record?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know about writing music. Isn't really the challenge. I think it's focusing on the next part of it. Like writing a riff, something you love. Like I don't know. A lot of the writing I do is very automatic. Like automatic writing. It's very rare that I'll sit down and create a riff per se. Most of the riffs you hear on the album are just kind of just automatic, and then I build on that. Like it's something I like that I'm hearing, that I'm playing. The challenging part is writing all the other parts to it, making it fit in key and making it the different time signatures and stuff like that. Building riff upon riff, making it sound good.
Now, when you were looking for people to bring the album to life for you to play live shows, how did you try to find people to join up with you? Had you posted something? Was it just word of mouth?
It's really hard trying to find people to do. Being in a band's like being in a good relationship, right? You know, so like really mixing with people's personalities, and like usually between 3 to 6 or 7 people. It all depends, you know. The last drummer I had was Bill from Indian. He ended up killing himself.
Oh my god!
2016.
Damn.
So that was kind of it's a pretty big hit because him and I were pretty close. You know, like the duration of our writing. You know, we did the Summer Slaughter show together. We played with Belphegor and Cataclysm and
Right.
Reggie's on Halloween that same year. After I found out he killed himself, it was kind of a huge blow to, you know, just writing and jamming and practicing. You know, we spent hours together just jamming and hanging out, and you know, I went to go see Gorguts at Subterranean the night before he killed himself, and I saw him for the first time in a while. I had been out of town, and I was with Aletta from Discarnate the next day. We went to go see Opeth the next day, and we were hanging out at Green Mill, the jazz bar on Lawrence, and we got the phone call that he did that, and that was just kind of I was shocked and surprised, you know, like I'd just seen him like 8 hours before.
Yeah,
he did
something that you wouldn't have expected.
Yeah. So it was a huge loss to me as a friend and to the band. You know, Mike and Joe Green at the time, he was our bass player, and we all spent time together playing and rehearsing, and it's like family, losing a family member, really. And, Aletta and Dave kind of like had a huge respect for Bill. You know, he was a phenomenal drummer, phenomenal doom drummer, and they wanted to be a part of what he was doing, which was Never We See at the time. And he was doing a lot of Lord Manus, doing Never We See, and they wanted to kind of join as a homage to Bill, you know. So I think the best Never We See has ever sounded is now. You know, everyone in the band is a phenomenal musician, you know, and they have a good attitude and a good understanding for what they want out of a band. So I hope this next record, hopefully we start this soon, like probably maybe autumn or fall, whatever.
Nice. Yeah. So in that time, do you have shows leading up to that besides the one that you just played with Satyricon? Is there any more leading up to the fall?
Nothing booked. It's really hard I feel like for me, where are we at right now? Like, Never We See has always done big shows. And like I've never played for an empty room, you know. And like, in other bands I've been in, we have, you know, 5 people, 10 people. So it's hard. Lately I've been getting a lot of shows, a lot of production people asking me to do shows, and I try to choose the right ones, you know.
Right. Like
Satyricon was the right one, and I'm hoping to do something with Shane Merrill maybe in the next few months. It depends on what it is, you know. I can't go from playing the Fords to, you know, a really small, you know, something like with certain bands that like I necessarily wouldn't fit the right bill. Like sometimes I feel like promoters will just call any band they can to fill
a spot.
Yeah. I'm like, well, that's not really me, you know.
Right.
I want to with the Grinder Girl and the live show and like everything that we do live. I wouldn't want to put that in a smaller club, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're wanting to make more of a presence,
right? Yeah,
and put on a performance.
Well, it's very expensive to be a musician in general.
Oh,
you know?
Of course,
so,
yeah.
Like some other people get to play at their parents' house, or I'm not really sure like what they do, but you know, it's like very costly to practice at a place and spend the money on like rehearsing somewhere that you have to pay monthly. And to me, it makes sense to like either sell tickets where I can keep a certain amount of money. Like that was the last show we did with Satyricon. I got to keep money from the tickets that I sold. You know, like to me that was worth it. We could make some money for the band for gas or whatever, for food,
right,
and still play in front of a huge venue, in front of a huge crowd. Like, so I like to play with bands that are working, that like really bust their ass and try to get out there. And I think right now I'm in the process of making a video press kit.
Ooh.
Basically, it's like
Nice.
not just pictures and words. It's like all video. So I have this dude, Mike Rappel, the guy who did all the templates for the album.
Mm-hmm.
He's been with me since the beginning too. Basically, he's putting together like maybe 1.5, 2 minute video press kit so I can send out to labels and stuff like that. 'Cause
That's cool.
the goal is to get on a label, so
Mm-hmm.
that I can focus on just writing and I work 7 nights a week, after this I go to work
Yeah.
and work so much just to be able to afford recording and just to live in general,
Right.
to
That's
live in
hard.
an apartment. So the goal is to eventually get on a label that will help us release records and distribute, hopefully around the world.
Yeah. Well, let's go into what were you gonna say, Charlie?
Off the album, what's your favorite song?
I'd say The Curse Is Real. Yeah, we should play that one next.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The
that's your
Curse Is
favorite.
Real.
Let's do it. Let's
Go
play.
for it.
Let's play The Curse Is Real, and another track after that would be the second track that you would want to play.
Let's do Bottom Feed. That's number 3.
We did that one.
Oh,
Actually,
no, we did Cripple Face.
I played it in our headphones, but I put it into the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Cripple Face then, for the show.
I expect that type of language at Denny's, but not here.
Well, that's too freaking bad. You hear me?
Because we're throwing it back to Morgan and Luco on the Metal Experience.
Woo! We are back. I'm Morgan Danielle with the Chin of Knowledge and Chuckling Charlie.
Where's that?
And we are here with Never We See. Tim is with us for his second time since 2012. Time has flown. And we just played 2 more brand new tracks off of Let It Kill You. One being his favorite off of the album, The Curse Is Real, followed by Cripple Face. I'm sorry. What does Cripple Face mean?
The song's about my ex-girlfriend's father.
Oh, boy.
No, it's a good one.
Okay.
He died in hospital, and it was like about that kind of situation. She was out of town, and I went there kind of to be like the support. You know, she was out of town with her mom and sister, and her father had been kind of battling stage 4, like spine and lung cancer. And,
Damn.
That's brutal.
He died when they were out of town, so I went there kind of like in lieu of her and the family, and we were there, and he just had no life in his. It was crazy. Just I don't know how many people you guys have seen who've passed away, but
yeah,
he had like no life in his face, you know. So the theme is like once had life, you know, no longer, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a you know, respect to him in a way too. So
you had a pretty big album release party when you put out this album. And that was out at Cobra Lounge with Beyond Death. How did that go?
Went pretty well. I've known John from Beyond Death for years. I've been in Beyond Death like twice. I never played live with them. Just I joined and then left, and joined and left. Yeah, I've always wanted to do a show with John, so it was pretty fun. Worked out pretty well.
And when you released the album, how did you put it out for people to get a copy of it? I know that you brought physical CD copies with you tonight, which are awesome. I love being able to hold something and see the artwork and read the lyrics and just enjoy the music as a whole with everything. But where can people readily find it if they don't have the copy?
It's free on Spotify, iTunes, CD Baby, Bandcamp, almost everywhere. You know, like 200 different places. So it's
nice.
It's streaming almost everywhere. You know,
all you gotta do just Google "Never We See" and see what comes up. That's awesome. And what other type of merchandise do you have available for people to pick up when they see you at shows or online?
Usually it's like T-shirts, and I do tanks for women. I have hoodies. You know, CDs, stickers, stuff like that. I want to do, now that it's summer, I want to do like booty shorts for chicks, that maybe.
Of course.
You know?
Nice.
Why not, right? Like a bunch of women wearing your
Where
clothes.
would you put the "Never We See"?
I'd say.
I mean, come on.
I mean, where else will we put it, right? Come on. So.
"Never We See" with the arrow pointing down.
Down,
up, maybe just
sideways,
just
any way you want.
Belly,
any way you want.
At the belly line and just.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that, but I'd like to kind of like branch out from the original traditional like shirt and CD and like put some. You know, you guys have lighters and stuff like that. Like it'd be cool to get. Never We See on a lighter or like a beer koozie. You know, I have a lot. Since I'm a bartender, you know, I know a lot of drinkers, so it'd be cool to get.
Put something in somebody's hand for somebody that smokes,
yeah,
you know,
totally.
Anything to get it out.
Smokers, drinkers.
Absolutely.
Hey, you guys got patches?
No, that's next. Patches are next. So
nice.
Tim's that old school metal guy that I've seen you wear your vest before. You've got a couple of those battle vests and
yeah. That one I used to have is in the closet for life probably. It's so old and
it's like a quilt.
Yeah. It's so like old and it's not even black anymore. I want to like dye it black. Just it's not black enough. That's why I don't wear it anymore.
Hey,
really.
you could always retire certain patches and revitalize it.
I even have that Emperor shirt. It's like so it's almost white. It's just like
thing's
so
faded
old.
from
Yeah,
black.
it fades so much.
That's crazy.
I have this one rule is if it's not black enough, I won't wear it. So that's my rule.
That sounds like your motto.
Then you probably wouldn't like. I have a white vest
Hey man, to each his own. But just for me personally,
that's covered in fake blood.
Oh no shit.
Well, that's a little different than it's not all white.
Well, it's still. You can still see the white down the side.
Just a little bit more brutal if you've got the blood.
Yeah.
Well, we've still got a ton of music to play. Let's play a couple more tracks off of Let It Kill You. What is the next two that you want to line up for us?
Let's do the actual song "Let It Kill You."
Okay, we
And,
can definitely play that.
Let's see what else we have here. Maybe "Riddance."
Riddance.
That's a long one.
All right.
"Let It Kill You" is an instrumental actually. It's right before "The Curse Is Real." It's a piano and cello track.
Ooh.
So it's like a kind of like spooky, creepy underlying piano with this like a cello piece that I rented a cello from this place at Evanston, and I like taught myself how to play and wrote a little.
What can't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is an instrument that you can't play?
I've never played anything brass. I've never had
Okay.
it. I've never had that in my hand. But I want to get a sax. Maybe in the future, next album or something.
Totally see you as a sax
I love
player.
sax. The sax is like such a beautiful instrument.
So, speaking of
Sax
saxophones,
solo.
really quickly, have you heard the new Rivers of Nile CD?
No, I haven't.
You need to. There is so much saxophone on there.
Really?
It is amazing. Like, totally different than what they've done before. I would
Cool.
highly recommend checking out the newest Rivers of Nile.
What's his name? Ishan from Emperor.
Yeah.
His latest 3 albums have a lot of sax.
Fun live.
It's so
Yeah,
different.
we've seen him live. Oh, it's so cool.
All right. Well, here we go. 2 more tracks from Never We See. Let It Kill You, followed by Riddance.
Hey, this is Pete.
Tanner.
And we're Bloodletter, and you're listening to
We are back once again. This is the Metal Experience. I'm Morgan Danielle, the Chin of Knowledge, Chuckling Charlie,
Yo.
and Tim from Never We See is here tonight. We're without Luco, but that's okay. 'Cause
don't
we
need
can
Luco.
handle our own now.
I miss you, Luco.
Yes,
Oh,
we do.
we
We
don't
do.
miss
I haven't
anymore.
seen you in 6 years.
That's a lie.
That's true. I've seen him around, but not on the radio show.
Not on the radio show. We'll make that sooner than later this time.
Later than sooner.
So that was 2 more tracks off of Let It Kill You. That was the titular track, Let It Kill You. And that was followed by Riddance. So tell us a little bit about Riddance. What is that track about?
Riddance is unofficially about Blake Judd. You guys know anything about Knock Mystium and all that whole deal? Yeah.
I do not. This kid does. So tell us a little
I was
bit.
in Knock Mystium for literally a hot minute and did that album with Blake. And the lyrics are kind of like about him, essentially, you know, like he's a huge heroin addict and very nice, charming guy. He's fun to hang out with, you know, fun guy, you know, but all the lies and the heroin and the people looking for him, and you know,
He's trying to make good now on everything.
Yeah, but he won't. And
so far, I guess what was it, one of the festivals in like New Orleans or California?
Kentucky.
Kentucky, he actually made.
Did they do that?
Yeah. And they were just like, if he wrongs you or whatever, just put your name down and we'll get you your money back or something like
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Yeah.
It came down to that?
Seriously?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, I don't know. The dude stole money from me, and he didn't pay me for all the tracks I did, and it was just like I don't hate the dude.
No.
It was fun recording with him and them, and you know.
It was a good album.
You just don't need that
I
negativity
just
in your
listened to
life.
the whole thing the other day. I was like, wow, this is fucking good. I remember it was fun, you know, but it's like officially, unofficially about him, essentially. It's like goodbye, you know. Yeah.
There we go. Where can everybody find everything that is Never We See online?
Spotify.
Spotify?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Stream it, man. I mean, to me, it's like just stream it, you know, like have fun, listen to it, you know. I'm not like Metallica where I like to pay for everything. It's like just fucking stream it. If you're listening to it, it's all that matters to me, you know.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
Being able to hear the music nowadays. We've got still Luco's segment to do, but it's not Luco's today. It's mine. So let me cue up that sweeper.
And now it's...
Now it's time for
Hey man, look what I found.
Only on the Metal Experience.
All right. This week, and like every week, brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings, your music, your imprint. And you can visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. This week, it was thanks to our writer, Cole Space, for introducing us to Under Exile, an awesome band from Shiprock, New Mexico. And we're going to play the titular track off of the band's latest LP called Make Your Peace With It. The song is Make Your Peace With It. And there's a review of the album up on our Reviews from the Crypt website. Thanks to Cole for writing that. So check it out on our website. And here we go.
For you, no
What's up, everybody? This is Tom. This is Mike.
This is Greg.
This is John. This is Dean.
We are Endgame.
And you are listening to The Metal Experience, the most fucking metal radio show on the dial.
And we are back once again. That was the Hey Look What I Found pick of the week.
Look what I found.
Brought to you by Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. And that was, once again, Under Exile from Shiprock, New Mexico with their song Make Your Peace With It. and the review is up on our website. That was off of the album Make Your Peace With It. Cole's done some
I've already
awesome
made my
other.
peace with it.
I'm glad. There's a bunch of other awesome reviews that Cole has done so far since he joined us last month up on our website, themetalexperience.com. Another one's going up by the end of the week for Axios from Algonquin, Illinois. So be sure to keep an eye on the website for more coming up. And we're wrapping up just a little bit of tonight. It is coming down to that time. We made it. We made it through another episode. Episode 299. Woo! Crazy.
We should do 6 more hours of this.
6 more hours,
I'll call
and then
off.
it
I
would
don't
be
give a shit.
episode 300. Well,
It'll be
Tim,
episode 299.
let's
300,
let's talk
301,
a little bit
302.
about what you have maybe coming up for the rest of the year, and go through again everywhere online that Never We See is.
Never We See is.
My goal is to get out of town. You know, like I want to. The intention was to book shows out of.
Out of
state.
Illinois?
Yeah, I really want to play in like. I'd like to do a week long where I play, one date, maybe being in Olympia, Washington, and then go all the way down to San Diego.
That'd be cool.
San
You know,
Diego.
just drive out there, play 4 or 5 shows, come back. Nothing.
Nothing too
Not
crazy.
like 2-3 weeks. It's like I don't want to lose my ass on tour. I just want to go out, play a few cities, and then come home.
And then do the other coast.
Yeah, eventually,
and then come
you
back
know.
and then go to the south.
I want to do like a New Orleans, Tennessee, Kentucky a weekend or something like that. Like
That'd be cool.
No, I'm not signed, so there's no point in like spending weeks out there and just lose money. I want to
Right.
do like small weekends now, and then get some support, get some label support, and maybe a talent, manager, and then
Has Never We See ever been overseas?
no, that's the goal.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Those are good goals to have,
Yeah.
and you definitely, with the shows that you've played, and this album especially, you definitely have so much potential, and I really hope you do get that because, this is phenomenal.
It is.
Thank you.
I thoroughly am enjoying it.
So you said you want to start recording album 3 starting in fall?
I want to
Hopefully.
start writing it. Like this. I think recording it in like 2020. I don't want to rush and put a new album out so quick. There was a long time between this album and the other one. The first one I did was like 2011, but I want to like start writing. It'll be a new experience for me because I've either always come in at the last moment and wrote my solos or wrote my melodies. So like writing with people like with this per se will be a new experience for me. Writing with other musicians, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was hoping that was the case coming up for you, that you were going to be working with other musicians. Not that you don't do well on your own, but
What are you trying to say here?
no, I always thought, like you played with a band live. I thought it would be interesting to see you with a full band and taking it to the next level, and for you to be saying that for album 3, it's even more exciting. But when I saw pictures of you on Instagram with a band, I thought that you were going in that direction of like, because before you didn't post too many pictures with other people. It would be live, but it wouldn't be throughout the.
Right.
So that was like, things are changing. It's different. And it's
I mean,
awesome.
The intention is to progress, musically, like however albums that this band does, like let's say Letta wants to leave or Dave or leave, Mike, anyone, everyone's welcome to come and go, and like I want their personal styles and tastes to really come out in this next album, So I'm really gonna try. I'm really gonna step up my guitar playing and try and play as technical as I can. Like this album to me is it's just like groovy and it's melodic and there's a lot of feeling into it. Versus the next album, I want to be like extremely technical, like crazy time signatures and so hopefully they can keep up, which they will. They're really good, so they will.
Exciting.
Looking forward to it.
I can't wait. But right now we're gonna sit with Let It Kill You.
Yeah.
For as long as we can before that next album,
Before it
because this is
kills
a
us.
lot to take in, and it's fucking sick. And I want to make sure that we enjoy every part of it.
Oh, yes.
We still have a couple tracks, but
Front to
before
back,
we listen to those, I do have a few announcements before next week. Starting with June 9th at The Wire, our friends in Tonson are playing with Arabella, Speaking with Ghosts, Capital Vices, and Apathy Orchard, and that is happening again June 9th at the Wire in Berwyn. It's 18 and up. You can hit up the bands for tickets. Our friends at Alter Perceptions are releasing Malice on June 22nd, and make sure you can go to their link on Facebook for pre-orders. The artwork is already up there, so be sure to check that out. Toast Mania is happening once again, June 23rd at the Subterranean, and just a few bands playing that, of course, besides Texas Toast, Chainsaw Massacre, Gorgatron, which they're fucking awesome. They're from Fargo, South Dakota. Love those guys. Still Alive, Violence Condemned, Rainy Boys, Raw Dogs. I don't even know. Dogs. There's some weird Ugly Bones, Gobbler, Bad Blood, Elbow Deep, Rain,
Condition Critical,
Lich King, Condition Critical, and Leeway's coming in from New York City, and Predators playing. $15, 17 and up, starts at 3 p.m.
If really Misanthropy isn't on that show.
Not that I see.
Yeah, but Leeway would
Arabella on June 9th, again playing The Wire, but they also have their EP Kingdoms coming out June 1st. Make sure that you pick up a copy of that when that drops by the end of the week, or get it at the show next week while you're there. What else do I got? Birdman's Night of Rock. I wanted to say thank you again for those guys for coming out here a couple weeks ago to help promote their show out in the Milwaukee area. This is happening this coming weekend, and this is with Lithic, Autumn Rivera, Ignition 89, The Wilted, Inbound, and Hijack. And that is going to be, I'm trying to think of what venue this is. I know they changed it, so if you go to the Facebook events on their profile, the Birdman's Night of Rock, it'll tell you where they changed it to. But for the first people that buy tickets, you can, the first is 3 prize giveaways for if you buy the tickets in advance online. The first is for Tech 9, June 10th, for anyone who purchases alcohol, 1 ticket per drink. The second is a $100 prize for the most rocked out style. And the third prize is $50 for one of first 20 people who purchases a ticket for the link. So we shared the link on our Facebook page. I know it sounds confusing, but if you follow the link, it's got all the details of what you could win on Birdman's Night of Rock. What Lies Ahead has their album release party June 16th at Penny Road. Fool's Brew, Genotype, Consume the Divide, Oblivion Zero, and Bury Your Past are also playing that night. And Birth of a Tragedy will finally be released. Wookfest, also happening June 16th. We'll be there with a table set up. We'll have Metal Experience merch to sell, and a ton, and I'm not kidding you, there is a ton of stuff we're giving away for free, from shirts to CDs to stickers, to pins, to wristbands, to whatever we've collected from bands over the past couple of years since we did our last table. Derek had old shirts he donated. Luco and I have gone through all of our stuff. They're not shitty shirts, that we wouldn't give you something that can't be worn. But there's a ton of stuff that we're giving out, and we definitely want to be out there to celebrate Wookiee. Ton of bands playing: Skank, Jungle Rot, What, Armored Assault, Bad Blood, Speed Freak. So we're going to be there. Make sure you buy your tickets in advance. There will be prize drawings and a silent auction. We're going to be donating some things to the silent auction as well. Some of our merchandise that we'll be selling will be a part of that raffle. So be sure to get details on wookfest.com or reggies.com and get your tickets now. Programmable Animal have brand new pre-orders up for End of the Tail album. They've got CDs and shirts. If you go to their Facebook page, the link is there. And then Gray's Divide also have a brand new t-shirt in stock for you to pick up off of their website. Go to their Bandcamp page for a link for that. And then there's a huge festival happening June 8th through 10th at Penny Road Pub. The bands are playing inside and outside, all ages till 9 p.m. There'll also be games and all that fun stuff. Just a few bands playing. Bubba Flex, Shallow Side, the Brandon Gibbs Band, Ann Arbor, Silver Tongue, Valeside, Shocker, Bone Shaker. I'm trying to think of familiar names here. Alice, Sweet Alice, Axios, Woe the Earth, High Octane. There's a ton of different bands playing, so be sure to find out more information. Wings of Severance, I know, is throwing out some links to this too because they are playing. So just a ton of bands. It's called AMB Fest 2018. Like I announced earlier, next week is our 300th episode. It's been 300 episodes in 7 years, so we're going to be welcoming Flesh Scorn on our show for the first time. They've got some new music that they're going to be playing. I think some of it that they haven't released yet, but we'll find out. And so come join us. Fitz's Bear Keys in Uptown Elmhurst area. It's free. It's all ages till 11 p.m. to come hang out with us while we record, and then everything that we do is readily available on our website, themetalexperience.com. Reviews from the Crypt have a ton of awesome album reviews. We've got some brand new interviews with some bands that we've done some write-ups with. Falling from Skies from Mexico was my latest one. They're pretty awesome, so you should go to the website, read that, and then be sure to check out Never We See everywhere that you can find them online for their brand new album, Let It Kill You. And we still have 2 more tracks to play. So, Tim, what are the last 2 tracks that we're going to be playing off of the album tonight?
This one's going to be like an instrumental. It's called Mephistopheles Melody.
Whew.
And the other one is The Sticks That Built My Funeral Pyre.
And what is that about?
That was kind of an ode to my cousin. She's a phenomenal poet, writer. I grew up with her, in my late single digits to early teens, mid-teens. She's a really learned writer. She's a phenomenal, really good with words. A lot of feeling, a lot of emotion gets poured into her music, her words, really. So that song was kind of like an ode to her, really.
All right.
That's actually her website, her blog website, The Sticks That Built My Funeral Pyre. So it was like a...
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
It's unique. It definitely stands out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming out and sharing with us this.
Thanks for having me.
I've wanted to get you on the show since I knew that you were releasing this album and seeing you promote it when you were talking about doing your album release with Beyond Death. We do have Beyond Death also coming up sometime this year. Let me really quickly pull that up, and I'll get you that date.
I haven't seen those guys in
September
years.
18th. Beyond Death will
Right
be
around
on
the
with
corner.
us
Right on, yeah.
to promote their latest album as well. So be sure to wait for that episode and check them out as well. But here are the last 2 tracks from Let It Kill You from Never We See. And for album 3, we hope to get you guys back when you release that. Or before that, obviously. We'll hopefully be able to get you on closer.
Hopefully not in 6 years.
Closer to this
Go back
date
in
than
about 10 years, guys. See you
7.5 years later.
No, it's now 12 years. You didn't know that? We're doubling it.
Yeah.
Well, listeners, have a great night. And here's some more Never We See.
Peace.
Good night.